Hello, my name is Look to Windward and this is VR Poker Hands. If you don't recognise me, it's because this is an avatar from the next update and I want my horns back. The hand we're about to look at is from the VR PT main event. Sitting at the table to my right is Chris Moneymaker, who makes some comments during the hand. At this point he had busted out, but he stuck around to chat, watch us play and to take the piss out of Whistle. We're seven-handed and the blinds are 25-50. I've got ace king of diamonds under the gun and my stack is 1570. So I make an initial opening bet of 175, making the pot 250. Folds around to Diva in the small blind, who calls. And we see a flop.
Off of Twitch, so I mean I'm not complaining.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Doing what I do already for money? Fuck it.
Bet.
Wink. Yeah, let's see.
We're trying to watch this Clemson, North Carolina game.
Call.
Diva checks to me and she should be checking her entire range here. She wants to give me the chance to continuation bet a large part of my range, including a lot of hands that she beats, including ace jack, ace 10, low pocket pairs and 10 jack. She might also want to check fold, as calling here is committing to playing the rest of the hand out of position, which is hard. I bet 150, this is just under 40% of the pot, and I'm looking to put her in a tough spot. I want calls from all of her kings, most of the queens, the under pairs, and all the draws. I think people often make the mistake of betting too big in this spot, and betting large allows your opponent the chance to fold many of their weaker holdings. If you bet anything approaching the size of the pot, you are getting called by all the hands that beat you, which in this case isn't many, king, queen, 4-4, and some of the stronger kings, but you allow your opponent to fold pocket pairs and all of the queens, and you want those to call. So she calls, which is okay given my aggressive approach to betting the flop, and we get a turn.
The turn. Bet. Player bets. Call.
The turn is a 7, which doesn't change much. Only pocket 7s, king 7 and queen 7 have improved, and the only draws are 10 jack and some gut shots. There is now a backdoor heart draw, which may or may not be relevant. Diva checks, and she kind of has to. Unless for some reason she thinks I'm betting with air, then the turn changes nothing. So if she was ahead on the flop, she is still ahead. And if I have a hand that beats 8-8, then I'm unlikely to fold. When your opponent will only fold hands that you beat, then it's a bad spot to bluff. So Diva checks, and the action's over to me. On some turns, checking back the flop is good for pot control, but when you have a hand as good as top pair, top kicker, then you should go for value on the turn when it's a blank and try to get your opponent to come along. This is particularly true with boards as dry as this one. So I bet, and I bet 275 into the 700 pot, again around 40% with the aim of putting marginal hands in a tricky position. Diva calls, and with the odds laid it's not a terrible decision, providing she sometimes folds as well in this spot. There are only two cards that will improve her hand, so it's possible she's looking for a good card to bluff, or feels that there is some showdown value in the 8s. I am aggressive, so it is entirely possible that she is ahead. If she folds this every time, then I will run her over.
The river.
How do I delete a tweet?
You go on tweet and then click like the
Bet.
three little bars and there should be the delete tweet button.
Alright, I look to inward a delete tweet.
I'm cool with it. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I just don't want to see the. I don't want to see the response.
I'm man enough to not reply. I don't like
No,
this.
you're not.
And this is another good card for me. No draws have hit. 5-6, which is the only straight, should never reach the river, and the only hands that were behind that are now ahead are king 8, king 7 and pocket 8s. I'm thinking about what size my river bet should be, because I'm thinking about getting 3 streets of value out of hands like king jack or king 10. But Diva goes for chips and bets 400, making the pot 1650, and things get interesting. I have to call 400 to win 1625. If I call and I win, I have 2765. If I call and I lose, I have 745. This is a big decision. Most of the time I must call, and I hate considering laying down top pair top kicker in this spot. But let's look at Diva's range. She can have 4 types of hands. Slow played monsters looking for value, which are King Queen, Pocket 4s, King 7 and Queen 7. These are all possible and could well take this line looking to get value from all of my kings and better. She has some value bets that I beat, but in this case those really are only King Jack and King 10. I can't think of any other hands that she's value betting that I'm ahead of. And if there are no value bets that I beat, I am always suspicious because my hand must be near the bottom of their range when you don't include bluffs. More importantly, she must know that these hands are only getting called if they are beaten, and that giving me the opportunity to fire a third barrel with a bluff is a better option than going for thin value. So I don't think that I beat value hands because I don't believe there are many. So what are the bluffs? What hand can Diva reach the river with that I beat? 10 Jack is a definite possibility, and turning it into a bluff makes sense. It's also possible that 9-9, 7-7 and possibly even Pocket 6 is bluff here, along with maybe Ace 4, but I'm reaching to find realistic bluffs, and I haven't seen Diva take this kind of unusual line before. The fourth category is hands that have improved on the river. King 8, Queen 8 and 8-8. So I can't see the value hands that I beat. I can't see too many bluffs. This is a very dry board, and I can see a number of monsters and some hands that improved on the river. I try and play a theory-based game where I don't try to win every hand, instead playing a strategy that is sound and will win against my opponent's range. So even though I think this could be a fold, I still prefer to call because the pot odds are so great, and if I win the hand, I have a decent stack to win the sit and go. If I make a hero fold here, then I'm opening myself up to be bluffed off so many decent hands. I hate this spot. However, this is such an unusual line from Diva. I know she's a decent player. I know she doesn't like folding, but I've never seen this kind of aggression. And aside from bluffs, what do I beat? So what do I do?
Well,
Fold.
Can I have your chips? Call.
nice, that river.
Oh,
What?
what a river.
What?
Good fold.
Crazy.
Obviously the right decision in the hand, but that doesn't make it a good fold. Being results oriented is bad, so was this a great laydown, or am I a weak nit who deserves to be run over? I'm still not sure. Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you like this, then support me by liking, subscribing and all of that stuff. Thank you and see you next time.
I believe that was an
Fold.
exploitative fold.
That's a big
Fold.
term.
Doing good.
Fold.
That is a.
Fold.
You think
I'm
that
re-
was really?
Call. Call.
Oh, wow.
Check.
I'm outclassed here.
Alright.
The
I'm glad-
flop.
I'm glad I busted.
Check.